Alright, new set, new brew for standard. Well, with Avatar The Last Airbender coming out, we're trying to recreate a previous brew, and that is Monoblue Control. So I'll link the previous version from several years ago, but we have a similar strategy. What's driving this strategy is we have these ramp type effects in blue, Bellion the Parched, or Hydroman in the real world, is a 2-mana 2/2 that end of turn turns into a land that can ramp your instance. And also we have Bender's Water Skin from the new set. That's a overcosted 3-costed mana rock, but it does untap during each player's untap step, so that could be exciting. So what is this deck trying to do? It basically live in magical Christmas land. We have previous brew used Shipwreck Dowser, which is a 5-mana 3/3 with prowess, but when it enters you return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. So without watching the previous video, this was paired with Sublime Epiphany to just Sublime Epiphany every turn for the rest of the game. Now currently we can 3 steps ahead to counter a spell while also copying Shipwreck Dowser to get back your 3 steps ahead, and if you have the mana you can play all 3 modes and get it back and do the same thing over and over again. Fun. At least that's the kind of magic that I like to play. So what are we doing before that happens? We're essence scattering to get creatures out of the way. We do have Flood Pit's Drowner, another nice blue removal spell that also doubles as an attacker. We have Consult the Star Charts as a way to dig for business spells. We also have from the new set Water Bending Scroll, which seems really good in a mono blue deck that can use it to its full advantage. Basically becomes tap, draw a card at some point in the game. We have Etherize to keep you alive because attacking is how most decks will try to kill you. We also have making a comeback in Foundations, the Voracious Great Shark. So this can also clog up the board and come out of nowhere, counter a spell or artifact. And you can also back it up with copying it. So then you have all this pressure on the board to skate away to victory. And then lastly we have at the top of our curve another win condition, the Meringue River Regent, a 6/7 that when it enters you can bounce 2 things. So extra control, extra finisher, and also it has the Omen mode to draw you cards and discard a card. Also excited to see coming back to standard is Crawling Barrens. So in the event that your opponent isn't doing much and you have nothing to counter, you can always dump counters on Crawling Barrens. And do note that when you do dump counters on it, it doesn't have to become a creature for you to do that. You may have it become a creature, or you can just dump counters on it until you're ready to have it turn into a land and smack into your opponent's face for lots of damage. And then islands. So yeah, this doesn't look very exciting because it's not, but oh, is this fun to play, especially when you can Shipwreck Dowser 3 steps ahead every turn for the rest of the game. Sideboard, we have Annul for enchantment and artifact. Also gives you something to do with 1 mana. Also Unable to Scream. Excellent removal in blue for pesky creatures that do a lot of things that you don't like. We're also trying out Flash Freeze since it's in Foundations, just to basically counter spell for 2 mana for anything that's red or green. Seems pretty efficient. Also Disdainful Stroke for decks that have those high-ended finishers that you want to be sure you have a efficient answer for. We have Soul Guide Lantern for the graveyard. Tishana's Tidebinder for an extra body that can also come in with flash and counter some ability. And then if it's an artifact, creature, or planeswalker, you turn off those abilities. And we're also playing a one of right now of Summon Leviathan. I can't say that I haven't played against this card because there was an opponent I was facing that had basically summoned Leviathan and 3 steps ahead as well. So if that's something you want to do and put in the main, be my guest. But I feel like in some matchups this is not the card you want to be casting, since it's going to not stick around very long. But it is very exciting to follow up with a copy spell. Also, the deck does contain merfolk such as Floodpit's Drowner and Shipwreck Dowser. So maybe there's a Monoblue merfolk deck that uses main deck Summon Leviathan that we're not trying out yet, but I digress. So, thanks for watching Monoblue Control. I've played several games and it's been very fun and very much competitive. Alright, let me know what you think and have a wonderful day.